Howdy, friends.
Mawmaw and Pawpaw here, back for another exciting ride.
Yeah, hop aboard. We like to have fun as we help people get where they want to go.
And we love entertaining folks with our stories.
Yeah, my favorite part's when we share our adventures, especially when we're going to places our riders have recommended to us.
Yeah, and I love connecting with our new friends as we share ideas and give advice.
Yeah, it's almost like we get to be their surrogate grandparents. And hey, who couldn't use some extra family?
Right, so climb aboard. Let us help you get where you're going.
As you can see, August has joined us for this segment.
Yes, and today's ride is all about learning. We had some new adventures this week, and we learned so much from our riders.
Yeah, our story time today includes a bunch of examples of times we learned something from our riders.
That's right, and we explored Science City at Union Station, and we also tried Thai for the very first time.
That's right. We're going to wrap up this episode with some theological advice for young folks.
Yep, and don't forget to connect with us. Connect online. You can like, share, and subscribe. And, of course, you can comment through email or Facebook. Just connect.
And don't forget, you can connect with us in person. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later on. It's time to explore with Mawmaw and Pawpaw.
That's right.
Okay, so along the theme of learning new things, we learned that we actually like Thai food.
That's right. We tried a Thai restaurant called Waldo Thai.
Right. In the Waldo district, Kansas City.
Yep. It was really good food.
I was shocked.
I was very shocked, too. Now, the one we went to seemed rather fancy.
Yeah.
I don't know if all Thai restaurants are that fancy or not, but this one was very fancy.
Well, it's not like everybody had a tie on, but I was the only one with the t-shirt.
Yeah.
As a men.
And baseball caps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy jeans.
And our waiter just assumed we were only going to have water, too. Did you catch that?
No, did he say that?
Yes.
I missed that. That's funny. They're really friendly, though.
Yeah, they were really nice.
We didn't have a reservation or anything.
Nope,
and it was
they
a
got
Friday
us right
night.
in. Yep. We only waited like probably maybe 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, they told us it might be 30 minutes, and we were like, that's fine, we'll wait.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, they're probably trying to get rid of us.
We
were standing there like sore thumb.
Yeah, we did. But the waiter was really helpful. I mean, he explained the different dishes, and he explained that how, Thai food really isn't as spicy as most people think it is. And
I was shocked at how sweet everything was.
Yeah, and we tried, there was all kinds of gluten-free options.
Yeah, normally gluten-free.
Yeah,
normally.
normally.
You didn't have to change anything.
No. Well, they didn't make substitutions anyways, but
right.
Even if they did, we wouldn't need to. We ordered two different, I couldn't pronounce anything that we ordered. I wish I could, because I would love to recommend it, but one of them was like a rice noodle, and the other one was some sort of a chicken.
Right.
Oh, man, but it was good.
And they were, the way Thai food works, apparently, those of you that don't know, they serve it family style.
Yeah.
So we like to share each other's food anyway, so it was like right
Perfect.
up our alley.
Yep.
And we had pictures of our dishes. Someone out there knows what they are, that's great, but we just basically mixed and matched, and Mawmaw thought it was actually better to mix them together.
Oh, yeah, the two different flavors that we had really complemented each other,
right.
I thought. And they were two totally different dishes. I mean, one was supposed to have a little bit of a kick, and one of them wasn't supposed to have any of a kick. And
one of them was like a peanut butter chicken.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was so proud of Mawmaw, the way she put everything together. Mixing food, you don't understand. That's like freaking her out, but she did it, and she actually really liked it.
I did. I was really surprised. I was, honestly, I'll be honest, I was expecting to eat Chick-fil-A after we left.
Yeah.
I really was. And I was not only surprisingly thrilled with the taste, I was full.
Oh, yeah.
By the time I left.
We took extra home, and we even reheated it.
Had it
a couple days later.
Yes.
Enjoyed it then, too.
So we highly recommend trying Thai.
Yeah, wherever it's at, I think you're going to be okay.
But definitely Waldo's is
Waldo Thai.
Good food.
Good to go.
Dress up a little bit more than t-shirt and jeans, though.
Yeah, at least wear ones without holes.
Yeah. Oh, well. It was still good.
Yeah. Well, we went back to Union Station this week.
Yep.
And so this will be 3 weeks in a row now
that
our exploring has been in Union Station.
All on that one pass.
Yeah.
So it's already earning its money.
Oh, yeah. That one membership has already, made it paid for itself.
Yeah, most definitely.
What did we see this time?
Science City.
Yes. Mawmaw's been looking forward to this.
Yes, well, we wanted to check it out before the grandbabies, so we knew, what all to expect. And, oh, my goodness, but all the grandbabies are going to love it.
Oh, my God, we spent hours there.
Yeah,
and
there was a whole level we never even made it
right.
to. And man, we had fun.
Yeah.
There was actually things that challenged us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mentally.
Big time. And we learned a lot.
Yes, we sure did.
Saw a lot of cool things.
Yes, it was
They have
very
this,
interactive.
When you first walk in, they have this, like, what they call a fluorescent room. I think they called it.
Mm-hmm.
You go in and everything it's like black walls, but like they've sprayed fluorescent paint
Everywhere.
sprinkled all over the place.
Yeah.
And as you walk through, you're getting all those cool experiences with just those different images. Mm-hmm. But then they'll throw in like a mirror here and there, and like a two-way mirror. And
yeah, that's fun.
there's one that like encourages you to make funny faces.
To look at your teeth and stuff to see them glow in this mirror, and then you find out it's two-way.
Yeah. Well, they didn't catch us because Mama was suspicious and went around the other side. And, oh, yep, it's a two-way mirror. I knew it.
Yeah, didn't get me. But there was all kinds of fun little rooms. It was like having a bunch of little fun houses, you know, back in the day. And so there was
they had like a big magnet display you could play with.
Yeah.
And they had, you walked out of that fluorescent room into this little space, and it's got this screen up.
Oh, yes, that was really cool.
And it says, stand right here. Mm-hmm. And these different animals and people, or you can see on the screen, are walking. I mean, you see yourself.
On the screen.
On the screen in that spot, but all of a sudden, like a rhinoceros came by, for instance.
And I acted like I was petting it. It was really cool. And then this little, was it a cougar?
Like a jaguar or something.
A jaguar came up and lay down on the ground, so I got on the ground with it. And it just looked like you were like there interacting with them. It was really neat.
Yeah, I wish we could have got like a recording of what that screen was showing.
Oh,
I took some pictures, but I don't know if it came out well yet.
Oh, I hope it did. We'll see.
Yeah. But that's just the entrance.
Yeah,
that's before you even get into the Science City part.
Right.
So it's
exactly.
It's incredible.
Oh, it was so much fun.
So we walk into the first part. If you walk in from that direction, you're like on the top floor, and you got to work your way down. But on the top floor, as soon as you walk in, it's what was it? Basically exploring the brain, like how the brain stem works, and there's different learning activities. There's a lie detector thing that we did together, and what was the one that had the? Well, there's a different station for each of the 5 senses.
Oh, so, yes. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Had a place where you smelled, you could push a button and you had to smell it, and then you had to figure out what it was, and you could lift up a window to see if you were guessing the right item. That was fun. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah. What was the one for vision showed how we actually, our brains are able to, because our vision, when it comes in, I guess, the picture you get is upside down. But your brain flips it over.
Oh, is that the one where you were tying a shoelace?
So I tried to tie a shoelace looking at it through a thing that made it look like it was upside down and backwards. So
that was pretty funny.
It's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
To study the mind. And then they had some fun part. They had a dinosaur that was robotic, and so I'm sure August, our grandson's gonna love that.
All kinds of puzzles that we did together and figured out.
Yeah.
There were some fun ones.
There was a bike.
Challenging.
Mawmaw rode a bike across the... what's that?
Tightrope. Yep, tightrope. Rode a bike across.
I got a video of that. Check it out.
Come find out. There's nothing I could have done to tip that bike over.
What?
Because it was weighted down with, I think she said, 300 pounds of bricks underneath us. And underneath me. And the way it was weighted, it was impossible for me to tip it over.
What if you were 300 pounds?
Well, I don't know. I didn't ask that.
Oh. I wonder what y'all were talking about. So she was explaining how it worked to you?
Yeah, she strapped me in. It was all safe. And I rode it backwards all the way until I hit the wall. And then I rode it frontwards until I made it back to her. Mm-hmm. Yep. That was really interesting. She gives you a little lesson on it all.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. And she was real sweet, too. I liked her. I had to stand in line for 3 kids.
Yeah.
They kept going and going. And I thought, well, maybe I better actually get in line.
They didn't know you were just another kid?
No. They didn't realize I was just a tall kid.
I was standing across a catwalk.
Yeah, so trying to video it.
Take pictures and stuff.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there was that was just, like I said, just the first part of this place. So then we go down to another level. And then another level. And then we were like, man, we got to get going.
I know.
We just left there because now we're at church. We got an activity tonight.
Right.
And we had to go to make it here in time. But before we signed off, we wanted to tell you about our experience right after it happened.
Yes, because it was so much fun.
Yeah. So y'all need to go.
Even if you don't bring your kids or grandkids.
We put it off a little bit, thinking
that
it'd be kind of weird
to go. But no, there was lots of adults just like us.
Oh yeah.
without
I
kids.
was shocked how many, but
Oh, yeah.
it was fun to watch the kids too. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
we'll definitely be taking our grandkids.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And of all ages. There's something for all the ages.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even below the part where we didn't even get to was a whole section for toddlers.
Right.
So, and we got toddlers, grandkids, so that'd be pretty cool.
So yeah, once again, that Union Station membership.
Yep.
Worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
We're gonna put links in the description. Check it out.
Yep. Science City, check it out.
Story time with Mawmaw. Story time with Mawmaw
And Papa.
Okay, I'll play.
All right.
As we promised, this week's story time is all about the lessons we learned from our friends.
That's right. And before we even started the week, we learned the lesson to respect our elders. So we got the privilege to attend an 85th birthday party for a gentleman at our church named Bill.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bill.
Happy birthday, Bill. So glad we got to attend that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to be able to participate.
Yes.
And show our honor for an elder at our church.
That's right.
So that made us start looking into ways that we can recognize the lessons that we're actually learning from others.
Yeah,
so,
especially our writers.
Right. So as we were working this week, we started looking for it, and it's all over the place.
Oh my goodness, we get people from all over the world to all kinds of different professions that we're able to learn from in our back seat every day.
Yeah, and they're always happy to share.
Oh yeah.
Even when we ask them really silly questions or something that's kind of complicated, like we one of the first rides we picked up was a web developer.
Oh yes, and of course, you know, Mama is a designer, and everything that you've seen on our pages have all been done by me. And I had to ask him. I was like, so what's the difference between a web designer and a web developer? And there's a lot. The designer, me, can make it pretty. The developer can make it work. And that was actually really valuable information to learn.
He said a lot of times nowadays the developer is learning design so that he can make it look pretty after he makes it work.
Yeah, yeah. But you can have a designer collaborate with a developer.
Right, which is something that we need.
Yeah, and so I'm really glad that we met this young man. So now I know where our breakdown is.
With our website.
With our website and where I need to go to fix it now. Or at least the steps to start fixing it.
Exactly.
So we were definitely blessed by that young man.
Yep.
I'm glad we met him.
Exactly. And then we started looking deeper into the theological interactions we have with our writers.
Yeah.
We're almost always end up talking about God
at some
or
point
Jesus or religion in general. Something comes up every time.
Well, like one time, we picked up a gentleman. It was just after Easter. We were telling him that Charlie Papa did a sermon, and he was like, "You know what? I have a question to ask you. Did you realize that Jesus was teaching the good news, and he was the good news?" Yeah. And we were like, "Huh."
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
That means the disciples were walking with the good news before they really understood what the good news was.
That's right.
So it
really made us think.
Yeah.
It was like, ooh.
I like that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Then we were blessed by a young man named Kyle. Kyle said he was a Christian, but he's struggling with his faith.
Yeah.
And that terminology came to me at the perfect time.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've been working on our testimony.
Yep.
And the testimony we had last week included, if you remember, it had a lot of the word struggling in it. Yeah. Because that's a perfect way to describe it. That for some reason I needed that word to be given to me.
Yeah.
And I finally got it.
And it clicked.
And it clicked, and it was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Kyle was a great blessing to us. Hopefully we can be a blessing to him.
And then he gave us a really great compliment before he got out. He said he really felt like that we were doing the Lord's work.
Funny you should say that, Kyle.
That's right, because we also just started up a youth ministry at our church.
That's
right. Oh, so exciting. And talk about learning.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we learned so much.
If you have any teenagers that can make it out to Buckner on Thursday nights from 5 to 7-ish.
Oh, we would love to have you.
We're going to be there.
Yeah,
check them out.
All kinds of fun games for the kids. And then we have a good discussion afterwards.
Right. That's basically, we just have a lot of fun. Take some time to have a little discussion, and then have some more fun as the kids leave.
Right.
We got snacks and stuff. And now the discussion right now is in an assessment phase.
That's right. And one of our first questions we asked was, who is Jesus Christ?
That's interesting conversation, a good way to start the ball rolling. And we thought, you know what? Let's share that. Let's discuss that amongst ourselves along with you.
Yep, on our questions and answers up next. So, as we mentioned earlier, we asked our youth group kids, who is Jesus Christ? And man, the answers we got were interesting.
That's true. And as a Christian, the identity of this man Jesus is extremely important.
Yes.
Because our entire religion, the religion of Christianity, is based on the life and teachings of one historical man, Jesus of Nazareth.
That's right.
And historically, even skeptical scholars concede the historicity of this key figure.
That's right.
Jesus of Nazareth.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if you remember from some of our previous discussions, some of the most historically certain events on record are about the life of Jesus.
Yeah.
If you remember, there's four main things that everyone agrees on. One, that Jesus really was a person who lived in the ancient Near East.
Yeah.
Two, that Jesus definitely was killed by crucifixion at the hands of Roman authorities.
That's true.
Three, that this man Jesus was buried in a tomb.
Yeah.
And the fourth thing that everyone agrees on is that after his death, there's reports of him being resurrected.
That's right.
And he appeared to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And some people, this is where the breakdown comes. What does that mean, these reports?
Right.
Some people claim that, obviously Christians, we believe it actually happened. He was really alive.
Resurrection.
Right. Then you have skeptics who have all kinds of weird theories to try to explain it away.
Right.
So that's where the breakdown is what does it mean, these reports?
Right.
But what's interesting is that there's no body that was ever produced.
No. Couldn't debunk it.
Right. Could have destroyed Christianity right as it was starting if you just said, wait a minute, you're saying that you think this man rose from the dead? Well, you're talking about this man? We knew where his grave was. We'll just go pull him out.
Right. They couldn't.
They couldn't do it because his body was in use.
That's right.
So that gets us into what does all this mean? Who is Jesus? So we know who the historical man, Jesus of Nazareth, is.
Right.
And who he refers to. But the term Jesus Christ, the term Christ is more of a title than a name.
That's true.
There's lots of Jesuses back that time. It's kind of a common name from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus of Nazareth, everybody would have understood at that time who that was. Mary and Joseph's son.
Right.
But the term Christ that they started calling him, Christ is a specific title. And it's one of three main titles, actually, we wanted to start with to discuss who this man Jesus really was.
That's right. So I guess Christ is a great place to start.
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
All right, come on, bub. All right, let's do this.
So, do you want to hear about Jesus?
Yes, because Jesus is my first bestie.
That's right.
I love that. Well, you know, Jesus has a title named Jesus Christ. And Christ is Greek for Messiah. And Messiah is actually Hebrew.
That's right. Hebrew is a ancient language of the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jewish religion, they've been waiting for this Messiah since the beginning, really.
Right.
But focus on this word, how they all relate. The Hebrew word gets translated into the Greek as Christos.
Mm-hmm.
And then in English, I guess we've shortened it to Christ.
Right. And it means the anointed one.
Right. So all those terms simply mean the anointed one. But it's a specific anointed one.
Right.
So it basically refers to a promise from God for a righteous king who will come to the world to rule according to God's will, thus bringing justice and peace to all.
That's right.
Now, this has been something they've been waiting for since the beginning, really.
Yeah.
The first 5 books of the Old Testament, the Pentateuch, as we refer to it, in those books, there's 6 very specific prophecies for this Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll include the links down below for those
You want to
passages.
research yourself. Yeah.
And I encourage you to do so. Look into it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But then the important thing to remember is that this is a very important figure that everybody's waiting on.
Right.
There's all kinds of references to it all throughout the Old Testament.
Right.
But Jesus definitely allowed himself at least to be called the Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
He was there's one example that I like in Matthew, the 16th chapter. Starting with verse 15, Jesus is asking his disciples. He asks them specifically, "What about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?"
Mm-hmm.
Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God."
That's right.
Jesus said, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven." Mm-hmm. So Jesus definitely confirmed there, yep, you're right, I'm the Messiah. But what's interesting is Peter also added the line, "He's the Son of the living God."
That's right.
Which is another title for Jesus.
So why don't we discuss Son of the Living God next?
All right, let's do that. So the second title for Jesus we're going to discuss is the title, the Son of God.
That's right. The followers of Jesus testified that Jesus was the Son of God.
That's right. In John chapter 20, starting with verse 30, it's written, Jesus performed many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not recorded in this book. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. So you see, Jesus didn't just claim to be another Son of God. Like all of us are God's creation. He's our Father.
Right.
But Jesus claimed to be the unique Son of God.
That's right.
In John chapter 10, starting with verse 15 and then skipping through to the end at 30. So paraphrasing, Jesus said the following: just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, I and the Father are one.
So in Son, when it's capitalized, it's a title in Christianity for God made flesh.
Exactly. So that brings us to our final point. Jesus wasn't just God in the flesh or the unique Son of God. He was God. All right, the final title for Jesus that we want to talk about today is the biggest one of all.
Right.
God.
Yep. Jesus claimed to be God himself.
Exactly. His enemies admitted this. They admitted that Jesus made that claim.
That's right.
If you read John chapter 10, starting in verse 31, it says, again, his Jewish opponents picked up stones to stone him. But Jesus said to them, I have shown you many good works from the Father. For which of these do you stone me?
Right.
We are not stoning you for any good work, they replied, but for blasphemy, because you, a mere man, claim to be God.
Right.
So, kind of debunks the idea that Jesus never claimed to be God that you hear, right?
Right.
So he may not have said it in a way that we understand, but clearly, according to this scripture right here, the Jews of the day thought that he did.
That's right.
So that's pretty profound.
Right.
But then on top of that, Jesus even claimed that the entire Old Testament was about himself.
That's right.
In John chapter 5, in verse 39, Jesus says, you study the scriptures diligently because you think that in them you have eternal life. These are the very scriptures that testify about me.
Wow.
And then when you read in Luke, the 24th chapter, the road to Emmaus, where Jesus appears to the disciples,
Right.
he says, and beginning with Moses and all the prophets, Jesus explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself.
Right.
So I know this is a mind-blowing concept. We're talking about the concept of the Holy Trinity.
Yep.
We don't want to go into great detail, but the idea here is that God is a different type of being than us.
Right.
We were created in his image, but not exactly like him.
That's right.
We're one person in one being. He's one being that has three persons.
Yeah.
God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
That's right. And all the Gospels attest to the deity of Jesus Christ.
That's right. And my favorite one is the opening scripture, the opening verses of John.
Right.
The Gospel of John. It's really cool. John chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made.
Wow. You're supposed to.
Okay, so to wrap it up, talk to our youth group about who is Jesus Christ. To
Right.
wrap up our discussion here,
So we know Jesus Christ was a historical man, Jesus of Nazareth.
that's right, and he had three titles. The first one was the Messiah, which means the coming king whose kingdom would never end.
Right. And the second is unique Son of God, which is God in the flesh, or human incarnation of God.
Exactly. And then the final title for Jesus is God.
Yep.
Because the Trinity, he's part of the Godhead.
That's right.
So it's an important foundational belief to understand the truth of Christianity, and there'll be more to come.
Sorry, folks, this ride is getting an end.
That's right.
Before we go, let's talk about where next week's ride is going to go.
Right, and when we explore, we're going to check out a restaurant called The Russell. Is that correct? And the attraction, Meadowbrook Park in Prairie Village, Kansas, I believe.
Yep.
We don't know anything about it, but we're going to find out what it is.
Exactly. And in story time, we're going to just continue to share our adventures driving Uber around Kansas City.
That's right. And of course, we'll continue to answer your questions and give you advice, so please keep sending them in to us.
That's right. And don't forget to connect with us. That's what we enjoy the most.
Mm-hmm.
Like, share, and subscribe, whatever platform you're hearing us now. And always comment.
Yes, comment. And don't forget about Open Mic Night, first Friday in June will be June 3rd.
Hope to see you there. In the meantime, you can join us next Thursday to catch a ride with Mawmaw and Pawpaw.
We'll be there to pick you up.